guys, this is the third part of our video course. We done on creating data in Vtiger. We send them to Laravel application. We updated data in Laravel application. Let's try to implement opposite scenario when we create something in our third-party applications and send it to Vtiger and then accept it in Vtiger from RabbitMQ. So in our scenario, we create contact. We will send them to RabbitMQ, and then we accept messages from RabbitMQ in Vtiger. I think this will be the hardest part of our video course. So be careful, code with me, write comments if you have any questions, and yeah, good luck and stay tuned.
Okay, let's start with creating contacts in Vtiger from Laravel. So what we need to do actually, it's here we have in admin panel we have store method, just default method with nothing in it, just get data from request and create contact. That's all, nothing else. So let's create here something where we can send contacts. So here we have so let's change our PHP version to 8.0. We have Q class in Laravel, and we can push in our Rabbit data, right? So, but we need to use connection only Rabbit, nothing else. RabbitMQ, and we need to push. Actually, we need to generate helper code here because it's hard to work. Generate telecom helper code, and yeah, now it works. And we need to push row our information, right? And here we need to push in JSON something. But before to push, we need to generate array and generate additional data for Vtiger, right? So it's too much logic in the controllers, so that's why we create an action. Let's create PHP class, send user, not user, send contact to Rabbit action. And declare strict types 1, and it will be final, and just invoke it. Here we accept contact and return what would be boolean or void or something. And let's add it here. Send contacts to Rabbit action, and call it. Okay. Now we can send it to Rabbit. Let's declare queue connection RabbitMQ, push row, and what type of data should we push? So first of all, let's create contact data from our model. Let's convert it to array. I think Vtiger should understand what type of model should it create. So that's why I think we should pass to Vtiger also model name, not only contact data, right? So let's add model name for Vtiger to make sure that it will not work only with contact model, but for example with payments, for invoices, and so on. So let's add additional information to our array. Model would be contacts. but I think it should dive a little bit deeper and declare constant CRM model name, contacts, and take it from contacts. Contact, CRM model name. Okay, now here we can push JSON code data, contact data, and let it be through on error. And second parameter, we need to pass queue name. It cannot be contacts because contacts is for communication between Vtiger and Laravel. We need a separate queue connection. So let's check it here. Here on queues we have VD contacts. We have contacts. It's for communication between Vtiger and Laravel, and we need another queue for communication between Laravel and Vtiger. So let's create VD contacts. And for now, I will remove this queue. And I'll stop processing and turn true. I think that's it. We are ready to go for now. Let's create new contact. It should be easy, I think. And CRM ID is mandatory field here. I think it's a bad idea, but let's put it 0 here. Title, manager, and description. Let's create it. Yeah, successful created, and let's check. Yeah, it's working. Queue create. Let's check our message. Yeah, we have first name, last name, phone. Do we have model here? Let's check it. Yeah, we have model contacts. Okay, data for Vtiger ready, and let's go to Vtiger. Okay, now let's do something. Now let's create functionality in Vtiger where we can get contact data from our queue, right? How can we do it, and what's the best approach to handle this data? So first thing first, we need to create separate class or function, right, where you can work with data from RabbitMQ. So let's start from these classes. The best way, I think, is to create separate services classes, the same thing as done with Vtiger. Something core service class in Vtiger. It will be much more better. So that's why we create services folder. We create services folder, and let's create core Vtiger class and call it Vtiger queue processor service, and file name should be queue processor, the same name standards as in Vtiger. You can check it, for example, in actions, right? Naming convention in Vtiger is Vtiger, its model name, name of action or service, and type of class. It's action or service, but I prefer to create services because actions it's something for Ajax requests and so on. But in our case, when we work with third-party services, we should use services. And here we need to create, for example, construct and apply array of data, right? And let's initialize properties, and we should have only one method, the same as in Laravel, handle, and return boolean. It's if everything is okay, boolean. It's not okay. And the main implementation for this service we will leave for every model. And for now we need to create in contacts this queue processor. Let's go to contacts, services, and the same class, contacts queue processor service. File name will be queue processor, and extends Vtiger queue processor service. Okay, and yeah, we need to handle. We need to create a handle function. Okay, how we will create contacts? I think we should use Vtiger server APIs. Yeah, this one. We will not use Vtiger React model. I think we should use web services, because in web services it's a much more better situation with your handlers, and it's much more convenient to work with exceptions. So let's use web services, and let's import all dependencies which we'll need for these purposes. This is all dependencies from this documentation, right? And let's go. Let's first import our log and this user instance, right? And I'll create also contact variable, call it null right now. And let's start with getting ID, right? For now, how we'll pass ID, let's check. We'll pass ID through CRM ID, and it can be null. If it's null or 0, it means that we create it from scratch, right? If it's not null, it means we update this contact in our CRM. So let's check it if it's 0 or null or not. So if this data CRM ID, it should be protected. Not equals 0, then we should get web service entity ID from contacts, and we should retrieve this contact. And now it's if it's not 0 and we find this contact in our database, then it should be array, right? This should be array. for simplicity, let's define separate variable for the data. I don't like to write this data. And let's check if contact is not null. Then we should fill our array with mandatory data in Vtiger, right? We should create assigned user ID key and fill out this default value. And we should rename our fields, because here we pass first name with underscore and Vtiger without underscore. And yeah, this is just created. Here you are. We use this VTS create function, pass module name contacts with data and current user. And of course, you can use not contacts but data module. It's up to you. I think it will be much better, but for now, just leave it contacts. And if it's error, we just create error in log file, the same thing. But of course, it's up to you. You can change it whatever you want. And if it's not null, we should update it, right? And the same thing, actually, just fill out ID, pass web service ID in ID, and revise our data. And that's all. Creation done. Now, somehow we should create the same thing in Vtiger, right? And this command should listen RabbitMQs, right? Let's go. We can find the same realization here in Vtiger. We have Vtiger cron, right? We have Vtiger cron file. It works through console, and I think we can use the same logic. So that's why we create new file here. New PHP file. Run RabbitPHP. The same as Vtiger cron PHP. And just copy paste all includes all starter kit from Vtiger cron. It's very easy. Just copy paste. Yeah, it's everything from Vtiger cron. I just added these things from AMPQ, additional dependencies. And now let's write a function. Let's call it, for example, execute RabbitMQ. And call it at the end of our file. Execute RabbitMQ. Okay, let's write a realization for our function. What we need our function. So first we need to import our global variables, rabbit data, log, and current user. Then we need to let's just put an echo. Let's print in console that our script is working, right? Let's write just consume messages. And let's start from our connection. Let's establish connection, the same thing as we did it before, just copy paste. And I think we should pass it to our try catch block. Let's check how we did it before in contacts module. Yeah, here you are, just copy paste it. Yeah, we establish connection, and I think if we have an error here, we should just die, right? Just echo the message. We we should stop our script if there was error in connection in AMPQ. Now the same thing, we should import channel and call our helpers. Now we call all our helpers and to all of them we pass channel, the same thing we did before. Now let's go to our documentation of our library and let's check how consumers works. Here we have consumer and you can see here we have process message. Yeah, we need to call basic consume and call process message function, right? So let's do it. Yeah, and we need to declare tags, right? Yeah, we need to declare consumer tag here. Let's do the same thing. Let's declare consumer tag and let's create our channel. Here you are. Yeah, the same as in documentation. We pass basic consume. With our queue tag, put it all false and name of our function. But I pass in function here directly and we pass the message. And now here we have a message. We received a message and we need to take a body of the message and will be our content from Laravel, right? Here should be message data should be our array. Now take module name and here it's just copy paste from our Vtiger loader. We try to load our class. If it's class loaded, we handle our function. So Vtiger try to find contacts queue processor handler service. I mean, if it exists, it will call handle function in this class. If it's not exist, it will attach Vtiger queue processor service and call handle function right there. Now when handle function is called, we just send information that everything is okay to our channel. And now let's make an implementation the same thing as in Laravel. Put it in while loop, while we'll have callbacks in our Rabbit. Then we work it all time. So it's not Vtiger cron in classic view. It's not cron. It's actually script establish connection in with RabbitMQ and receive data asynchronously from RabbitMQ. And when message received, it will call our handle function. So let's run it. PHP run rabbit PHP. And I think we should put an echo, right? If it's everything was okay. Let's try to put echo. Message received with ID. Let's check our queue. Yeah, with ID. Message data ID. Okay, and PHP and offline. Okay, and run RabbitPHP. Yeah. Yeah, we received one message. Let's check if it was successful. Let's go to contacts. Yeah, Vasiliev is received. And let's check another thing, if updates is working, because now we works only with creation. But let's check updates. Maybe it works, maybe it's okay. Let's change description. Let's update it. It's not updated. I know it because we didn't create hook for our update function for Laravel. Let's implement it. Here in contact controller we have implemented this functionality for store action, and let's add it for our update. And call it here action contact. And let's try to implement it. Something happened in Vtiger. Let's check it. Yeah, and now it works. We see two data. So we received new contact with description. So why it works like this? Because we didn't receive response from Rabbit in Laravel, and CRM ID it's now 0, and Vtiger receives new contact with 0 CRM ID and creates new one. Of course, it's not the cases we want, but now in this video course I will not give you a solution. We have different types of solutions. We can get response from RabbitMQ with new CRM ID we created in Vtiger and save it in Laravel. But if there'll be enough likes and comments in our video, I will create a second course with advanced solutions for different cases. Or you can just send another message in RabbitMQ with email, for example, and CRM ID, and save the CRM ID in database of Laravel. So, but now in our case, let's put it manually, our CRM ID 4, update it, and let's check it in our Vtiger. And it's not works because I forgot I changed it in database, but I didn't change in the UI, so I'm sorry, it's a little bit funny. Yeah, and if we now change it to 4, not 0, and tr, press update, and it should work now. Yeah, it's not works. So I put wrong ID. Let's change it ID to 7 and changed third times. Okay, let's press update. Yeah, now it's working. So update is working. So let's now let's go to another section. where we will create asynchronous operations for Vtiger using RabbitMQ. So stay tuned.